Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to a video, and today we're going to be checking out the FlyWoo ESC. Now this is their first ESC to the market. FlyWoo itself is a pretty new company. They started out with motors and a flight controller recently, and now they have a 4-in-1 ESC. And it is nice to see that they're trying new things out. They're not just remaking similar products to other things. So if you real quick take a look at it, you can see what is different about it, hopefully. The camera focuses here. You can see that there's actually two parts to this ESC. You have the main layer, and then all the processors are on a separate board. You can see it's soldered on the edges there, and then there's a bunch of connections down here as well. And the same thing on the front there. So the point of this is supposed to get everything away from all the high power transfer that's occurring. Instead of being in line with it, now it's a little bit away from it, so it's supposed to be a lot less noisy and perform better. Whether or not that'll actually matter is up for debate, and hopefully we'll be able to find that out in the video. And then on top as well, you can see they do have the CNC aluminum heat sinks to help cool off the FETs. Pretty cool there, as well as you can see they put the plus and the minus in the pads themselves. Not only will that make you pretty foolproof to when you're soldering your leads on them, and you can still screw it up, but that'll give a little bit of extra room for the solder to flow down into the pads and grip them a little bit better. As well as it does have a current sensor there. In the box itself, you do get a little connector to connect to the flight controller. I believe it probably is pinned out for their flight controller. Of course, you can change it for other ones. It is an 8-pin connector, and then you do have some plastic standoffs if you want to use them. And as well included in the box is a little 35-volt 470 microfarad capacitor, which is nice that they include it. And keeping with the trend of other new ESCs, this is BL-Heli32 compatible, and it is 50 amps. And of course rated for 6S, and you can also run it on 4S if you want. So let's go ahead and weigh this ESC. Since there is two boards, it feels pretty heavy in the hand. Here I have an Acon 4-in-1. It does have a little bit of solder on it, but this is pretty typical 4-in-1 ESC. It's just to see the weight difference. So that guy weighs about 14.6 grams. And then if we weigh the FlyWoo, that weighs about 18.5. So it's a couple grams heavier, but not too much. So we go ahead and move this. I'm actually going to be installing the FlyWoo ESC into my Acrolite 230 here. So it's actually kind of funny. This quad already has the FlyWoo Ninja 2306 1750 kV motors, and it has the FlyWoo F4 flight controller in there. So once I replace the Acon ESC in there with the FlyWoo ESC, this will be running FlyWoo motors, ESC, and flight controller. So all of the electronics besides the receiver and video transmitter will be FlyWoo. So it's going to be completely FlyWoo build. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. This quad already flies really well as is. So we'll be able to see if we get any extra performance from the little bit beefier ESC, as well as the separate daughter board setup. And just in general see if it's a high quality ESC, since it does come in at a moderately high price, about $65, which is in the same range as the Acon ESC and the Hobbywing and the SpeedX, other ESCs of this caliber, all right around $65, $68. So let's take the frame apart, start soldering this guy and putting it in. Okay, so here we have some flight footage on my Freestyle Quad running the INI ESC. So I'm just going to let the footage that I have play, and then we'll talk about it when I finish up.
Woo!
as you can see from the flight footage, I tried to do as many things as I could to try and break it. I did some full throttle for like 20 seconds or whatever. You're not going to do that in normal flight, but honestly, I wouldn't expect any 4-in-1 ESC to die from that. They almost never die from just overcurrent. It's usually on the crashes, so I'll just show you a couple crashes here. I had a lot of hits with this thing. So yeah, as you can see, I was definitely banging the quad around there. And would a normal ESC, like for example, would an Acon die there? It's really hard to say. When ESC failures happen, they happen at the times you least expect them. So while I've definitely had no problems with ESCs so far, I can't go out of my way to say it's the best ESC, it's the most durable ESC, you know, it's bulletproof. Because, you know, all ESCs are kind of similar in that regard, at least in my experience so far. Probably the heat sinks will help protect it a little bit. They cover all the FETs, they will suck off some heat. So in that aspect, it should in theory be a little bit more bulletproof and not susceptible to breaking. I know as well as the double boards, I didn't really notice much difference, if any, you know, with the less noise aspect. You probably would in general. That's probably something that would help preserve the ESC for longer though. When I was doing my throttle punches after a little bit of Betaflight tuning, because I tuned this quad when it was really cold out, the props grip a little bit better, and now that it's 80 degrees out for the summer, I needed to readjust it. But I noticed that the quad was holding very, very locked in and level on my throttle punches, and that's a sign of usually a good, decent quality ESC, so good thumbs up on that. Even consistent power across all 4 channels. So yeah, that's really pretty much it. It's an ESC, and I definitely think it's a very nice contender in the market. It's about $65, so it's priced the same as the Acon, the Hobbywing, the SpeedX, all the other high-level ESCs, right around that $65 mark. So I can't say the ESC is the best. You know, like I said, they've all pretty much performed pretty similar for me, except for the Hobbywing. The Hobbywing's the only ESC I've had just completely blow up or just smoke motors without even doing anything. I've had bad experiences with the Hobbywing, but definitely a good ESC if you are looking to try it out. And definitely probably my favorite FlyWoo component is these motors, these 2306 or 2207 motors. Really enjoy them. So there'll be links down in the description to all of the parts below. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.